GAP's American Whistleblower Tour is a dynamic countrywide tour that educates the public, particularly our country's university students, about the phenomenon of whistleblowing. Since 2011, the tour has brought prominent whistleblowers from all types of professional backgrounds to tell their stories of truth-telling, persecution, and vindication in public and private sectors, explaining to our country's next generation of workers that one person can make a difference. Thanks to them, over 7,000 students at dozens of colleges have begun to question what can be done if they ever uncover workplace wrongdoing.
That as a result of 9/11, for all intents and purposes, the United States government abandoned the Constitution in secret. Abandoned the Constitution in secret.
And I said, maybe it's because I'm new here. I don't get it. What criteria do you use in deciding whether or not to give somebody a loan? And he said, if they can fog a mirror, we'll give them a loan.
So I knew what was going on was definitely not an acceptable standard, even though the owner of the company was on the Peanut Standard Board.
I traveled all over Alabama and Tennessee, and I can tell you, there's nightmares out there.
Nothing we were doing there was succeeding or was going to succeed. The people were dying and killing for no justifiable purpose.
And that's the stereotype of whistleblowers. They think we run around telling everything. And I was like, well, no, that's not the case. I just, I want a job. This isn't anything. Now, if you're killing people, we have a problem.
It became apparent in a number of ways that the policing was going to get worse rather than better.
And we have a district supervisor that says, oh, feces is not going to hurt you to eat it. It's been through the antimicrobial wash. You want a plate full? I don't.
Pause when I say this, the majority of the leadership in NSA were in denial.
I was feeding my granddaughter and mother-in-law recalled Boston crackers that contained salmonella from a plant that I had worked at 3 years earlier. Very personal at this point.
In addition to the primary tour stop, our whistleblower speakers make more personalized classroom visits where students can interact directly with tour visitors. And remember, GAP works closely with colleges to create and print materials needed to advertise for your whistleblower tour stop, including flyers, programs, and evaluation forms. Our whistleblower tour has garnered serious recognition around the country, attracting notable partners in its outreach efforts, including major Hollywood studio Participant Media and their outreach TV channel Take Part TV.
These are the future leaders of tomorrow who are likely, in all likelihood, at some point in their career going to be faced with a situation where there's a conflict of ethics. What do? I see something wrong.
And don't forget, the tour doesn't only highlight the stories of whistleblowers. Stops are frequently joined by related professionals, including award-winning journalists and attorneys.
Would you do it again, and what do you have to say to folks here?
I actually would have blown the whistle a lot sooner.
I don't know how many more people might have became ill or died had this plant not finally been shut down.
Taking action on this is one of the best things that I've done.
This question is for Mr. Clark. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about what the whistleblower protections are.
Every morning when you wake up, what pushes you to continue, and what drives you to continue, when you're facing obstacles that are seemingly unconquerable, like you are?
Why do you think there weren't any whistleblowers before yourself?
The key is getting that information out so that instead of corrupt bureaucracy, silencing and surrounding, suppressing a lonely individual, it's society surrounding that corrupt bureaucracy. And when that happens, their conventional power is like a house of cards. And the laws aren't so important anymore. Because we've asserted our rights as citizens in a free nation.
For more information, go to www.whistleblowertour.org.